In Niger, the defense and security forces have once again proven their dedication to the protection of the public and the enforcement of law and order. In a series of remarkable seizures in the Palma department, located in the Dosa region, the country's security apparatus has demonstrated not only its vigilance, but also its strength in curbing the illegal drug trade that has been undermining communities. This operation highlights not just the increasing challenges posed by organized crime, but also the country's unwavering commitment to ridding its borders of harmful substances that pose a significant threat to the nation's youth. The story unfolds on a day like many others in Niger, when officers in the Palma department were carrying out a routine check on the roads. However, this was no ordinary checkpoint. The sharp-eyed officers noticed a motorcyclist passing through with a suitcase strapped to the back of his bike. At first glance, the motorcyclist appeared to be an ordinary traveler. When questioned, he denied carrying any illicit items in his suitcase, claiming it was empty. But the officers, ever diligent, insisted on inspecting it. What they found was an astonishing discovery: 13 balls of Indian hemp, weighing in at a staggering 11.7 kilograms. Thanks to their quick thinking and attention to detail, this drug shipment was intercepted before it could reach its destination. But this wasn't the only victory that day for Niger's defense forces. Later that same day, while many in the town were participating in community activities, such as tree planting, 2 men attempted to sneak through with a much larger haul of illegal substances. These individuals had bags filled with baobab leaves, a common sight in the area. However, the officers, showing the same vigilance, stopped the duo and requested them to open their bags. Upon inspection, they discovered 40,280 tablets of Dasipam, more commonly known as D5, a drug notorious for its addictive properties. Along with the D5, they also uncovered 2,900 tablets of Tramadol, another highly abused substance. This interception is a clear example of how the government and its security forces are working tirelessly to keep dangerous drugs off the streets and away from the country's vulnerable youth. These significant drug seizures demonstrate that Niger's defense and security forces are not simply reacting to events, but are proactively working to stay ahead of drug traffickers. Their actions are not just tactical victories, but also a symbolic representation of the ongoing struggle against criminal syndicates attempting to exploit Niger's borders. Each bust, each seizure is a win for the citizens of Niger, a reassurance that their government is actively engaged in protecting them from the dangers of drugs and the violence that often accompanies the trafficking networks. The importance of these operations was underscored by the words of local officials, including the president of the Palma District Court. He praised the security forces for their perseverance, noting that the justice system would be taking swift action to ensure that those responsible for these drug trafficking attempts would face the consequences of their actions. This coordination between the police and the judiciary highlights the holistic approach Niger is taking toward fighting crime, a model of how strong, integrated institutions can combat the threats posed by illicit trade. But beyond the immediate action of securing the streets and busting trafficking attempts, local leaders and authorities have also emphasized the importance of public awareness. The prefect of the Palma department, Captain Isaka Ade Issa, commended the officers for their vigilance and reinforced the need for the public's cooperation. He highlighted the crucial role the community plays in supporting law enforcement. With public engagement, the authorities believe they can build a stronger, more secure Niger, free from the influence of illicit drugs that devastate communities and lead to further criminal activity. In recognition of the hard work and bravery of the security forces, several officers in the Palma department were awarded certificates of recognition. This moment of celebration and appreciation was not only a token of gratitude, but also a reminder of the importance of teamwork and solidarity within the forces. In a region as dynamic as Niger, where the challenges of securing the borders and maintaining public order are ever present, the unity and cooperation among the defense and security forces are paramount. But while the seizures and the recognition of security forces are important milestones, they represent only a fraction of the broader fight against the drug trade. As part of the government's ongoing commitment to addressing this issue, an incineration ceremony was held in Tessawa, where a large quantity of drugs and psychotropic substances seized in various operations were destroyed. This included over 1.4 million tablets of pabalinale, more than 2.7 kilograms of cannabis, and a variety of other dangerous drugs. The destruction of these substances marked an essential step in clearing the streets of Niger's communities of harmful products. The ceremonial incineration of these drugs also served as a public statement of the country's firm stance on the issue. Local authorities, including Salifu Mumuni, the prefect of the Tessawa department, reiterated the government's commitment to fighting drug trafficking. He emphasized that each seizure and every drug destroyed was a victory for the country and for its future. With such efforts, Niger's defense forces are demonstrating that they are not just focused on enforcement, but are also playing an active role in shaping the nation's future through their work. Niger's fight against drug trafficking is about more than just arrests and incinerations. It is a concerted effort to protect the most vulnerable in society, particularly the nation's youth. As stated by local officials, the consumption of illicit substances is closely linked to higher crime rates, and it is often the youth, those under 40, who are fueling the demand for such drugs. This demographic, in particular, has been the focus of prevention campaigns aimed at raising awareness about the dangers of drug abuse. Authorities are working diligently to educate young people about the risks of addiction and to provide them with the tools to make healthier, more informed choices. The importance of community awareness and prevention cannot be overstated. By focusing efforts on educating the youth and raising awareness about the harmful effects of drugs, Niger is taking proactive steps toward preventing future generations from falling into the cycle of addiction. With these efforts, the country aims to create an environment where drug abuse is no longer seen as a viable option for dealing with life's challenges. Niger's government, led by President Ramani Chiani, has made the fight against drug trafficking a top priority. The president has consistently expressed his commitment to ensuring the safety and well-being of the people of Niger. This fight is not one that can be won by law enforcement alone. It requires a unified effort from all sectors of society, including local authorities, the judiciary, and the public. The government's strategy involves not only taking down the criminal networks responsible for trafficking drugs, but also ensuring that young people are provided with the resources and education they need to stay away from these harmful substances. The commitment to combating drug trafficking is also reflected in the strong support the government has shown for its security forces. The partnership between the military, the police, and other law enforcement agencies has proven to be highly effective in responding to the evolving tactics of drug traffickers. These coordinated efforts have led to multiple successful drug busts and significant seizures, all of which contribute to the larger goal of eliminating the threat of illicit drugs in Niger. However, the journey is far from over. While the recent drug seizures and the destruction of drugs in Tessawa represent important victories, they are only part of the broader war against drug trafficking. Niger's security forces must remain vigilant, and the fight must continue on multiple fronts. The government, along with its partners in the community, will need to maintain its focus on education, prevention, and enforcement to ensure that drug trafficking does not undermine the country's progress. As the battle against the drug trade rages on, Niger's security forces, judiciary, and citizens must continue to stand united in their efforts to protect the country from the damaging effects of illicit substances. Every drug seized, every trafficker arrested, and every young person educated about the dangers of drugs is a step closer to a safer, more secure future for Niger. In conclusion, the recent drug seizures in Niger are just one part of the larger, ongoing battle against drug trafficking and its destructive impact on society. With the dedication of the country's defense and security forces, the continued cooperation of local communities, and the firm commitment of the government, Niger is well on its way to eliminating the drug trade from its borders. The path ahead is long, but with the combined efforts of all involved, Niger will continue to push forward in its mission to protect its people and ensure a brighter future for its youth.